Okay, I got this one almost ready, but you remember that side was bent and stuff, so I'm gonna put a little washer on it, and I just happen to have a little something here that I can use for a washer. But do you see how it's cut off right there? It's not really a washer that I got from the store. This is a ear to an old broken electrical duplex outlet. You know, the ears that fit over the drywall. If you've got a broken one, or if you got a bad one that you're replacing, I always like to break the ears off so I can use these as little washers. And when I look at the screw, because that was kind of bent down in there and stuff, and I banged it out a little bit, it's almost flush, but I think I can put this little screw washer in there. That's going to let this stick out a little bit further, but I think the escutcheon ring is still going to fit, so I'm going to try it. That'll give that a little bit more holding power. Okay, let's take a look. That washer, that little deal happened to fit right in there. Do you see the little edge of it right there where it was cut off from before? Fit right in there, didn't it? And see, the head really isn't sticking out that much. And I think, see, I think this is going to fit right down and snap right on there. Okay, I think it's going to. I think it's barely going to miss that. If anything, I might want to tighten that screw up a little bit further. But see, here's that other little screw that I put in, and the nut, and the threads are in there just a little bit. I've got to tighten that up a little bit, but I first want to line this up. I'm going to line that side up. I'm going to cinch it down to a certain extent, and I can do the same thing with this one, and then I'll put the door handles back on and see how it lines up. Okay, I got the door handles snapped back in there, and when I tightened that up, I had to kind of go and hang on to this with my thumb and screw it in, and I can see, I can feel just a hair of that screw coming through. I had to do the same thing with that. This one's sticking out just, you know, not even a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, and I think that's going to work. Okay, so now we're going to mimic. We'll get these doors closed, and you remember I still have to adjust that ball up there, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay, so I've got these things lined up on this side, the ring about where the paint markings were on this side, and I'm standing back looking at this. Those look pretty good. If anything, if I put a level on there, I've got a pretty good eyeball. It looks like that one is just a hair higher, the bottom tip, than that one. Okay, just a hair. Now I'm not going to adjust that yet, and I'm going to pull this open, and I'm going to come out on this other side, and I'm going to keep that in mind. Oh, I'm going to have to get my construction light, because it's getting dark and I don't have much light on this side. So I want you to get the full Monty of this, so I'll get my construction light, be right back, and we'll line these up and see how they're doing. I tell you, the things I do to make a video. Okay, I'm glad I have that, by the way. Okay, let's close these. I'm still going to be aware of this one because I still have to adjust it. You see what I mean? It takes a little bit of force to get it closed. That's why I got to get that adjusted for this handle. Okay. Now remember, initially I thought this this screw was up a little bit high, but over time your handles could sag or droop. But I'm going to take a look at this, and we're going to decide this here. Okay, here we go. Okay, what does that look like to you? It looks like it looks like this section here is higher than that, right? Get you back here, see? You see what I mean? So I'm gonna have to, I know I'm gonna have to lower this one down a little bit or try to raise that side up. I'll have to do a little finagling with this one, which means I've got to loosen up the other side right there where that bolt is to lower that down. And you remember on that one, if I looked on the other side, you remember, I might try to mess with that one too. That one, I forget what I said now. It almost looks right, but I think that one is just a hair high. That side could go just down a little bit, okay? So this left one has to go down a little bit, and this one has to go down more than just a little bit, doesn't it? Remember? Okay, yeah. That one's got to go down a lot. That one's got to go down on the other side just a little bit, okay? So hey, I'm here. I'm right in the middle of it. That's why I didn't put those sketching trims back on. I still have to clean all those off with the paint and stuff. That has paint on there. Take my fingernail to it. It works good. It doesn't scratch your escutcheon trim. Okay? So I'll Mickey Mouse around with this one and that one. Get them lined up the best I can. Put the handles back on. Check it again. Back and forth. I got to do it a couple times, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm happy with it. Okay? And here's a little tip for you too. When I got something like this, I don't like to just rip this off, because then later, if you want to know what size it was, you don't have this, maybe it got ripped off, or next time you're looking for it, you don't have all the screws. You got two screws and only one nut left because it got thrown around. So I just do that business. Pull out a screw, and then I can fish a nut. I can fish a nut out of that same little hole. Okay, right there, like that. Okay, now I've got 3 screws and 3 nuts left for another project. Those are never going to come out of there, and I'm ready to cut this off.